Hello friends, AmyR here with Prairie Paper and Ink, back with another STAMPtember exclusive. This is the Whimsy Stamps Positively Awesome collaboration set. Like all of the STAMPtember collabs, this is limited edition, one and done, so when it sells out, it will not be restocked. Super cute set with all these little French bulldogs. So I have some distress watercolor paper in my MISTI, and I stamped the heart image, or the larger heart image, because there's a bunch of little heart shapes and stuff in it. So stamped that with VersaFine Clair NOCTURNE ink, and then I stamped one of the Frenchies above it, so it looks like he's holding this little heart. I don't know, I love French bulldogs. They're so cute. All dogs are beautiful. Anyway, I also inked this up with the NOCTURNE ink, stamped that a couple times. And then, of course, I'm going to use the new Distress watercolor pencils to color these in. You can use anything. These are new, and I'm, just having fun and experimenting with them. So I've already discovered that my favorite way to use them is rather than color on the image and then move it out. You totally can do that, but I like just picking up the color directly from the watercolor pencil with my little water brush and then just painting. It's just the easiest way for me to use it. So I decided to go with a rainbow theme because it's bright and cheerful, and why not? So I did just kind of stripes of rainbow colors on this large heart image. I ended up grabbing watercolor pencils from each of the sets because there's 3 sets. Although you technically could do a rainbow with just one set because that's how they've been planned out. But yeah, I was just grabbing watercolor pencils at random. So anywho, painted that heart quick and easy. The little Frenchie I just used, I think it was like hickory smoke. Painted him with that again. Really simple. So yeah, I'm enjoying these. I don't have any more thoughts to add yet on the Distress watercolor pencils because this is literally the second time now that I've used them. No regrets though, because the biggest thing with these is they go with the Distress colors. That's, to me alone, because I think in Distress colors, I'm always like, ooh, that's like picked raspberry, or ooh, that's like seedless preserve, like that's all it's about. So anyway, after I did that, I cut that out. And then I pulled out my Brutus Monroe stick and stamp mat, and I showed this just in a recent video with the blending buddy that holds a piece of A2 cardstock and a stencil. So I put a piece of Simon's Smooth White cardstock in there, and then I pulled out the Studio Katia Love for Paws stencil, which was perfect with this stamp set. Like, again, chef's kiss. So they were just meant to go together. Really, this stencil goes with any little like critter type set, with the little paw prints and there's little hearts. It's adorable. So over that, I blended Simon's flannel ink with a blending brush, just nice light gray ink. I wanted this piece to be fairly neutral. So I did that. And then with the stick and stamp mat, it works better to like bend the mat away from the cardstock because it does have quite a bit of stick. Like, it is going to hold your paper in place. So I put a fresh piece of cardstock in there, and I had wiped down the stencil. And then I just used a bit of Post-it tape just to mark off my parameter here of the space I actually need to add blending to, because I'm going to die cut this. So this is where I use a whole bunch of inks and my smaller blending brushes because I wanted to do a rainbow of colors going down this. So I used Sunbeam and Grapefruit, Peony, Cadet, and Violet Positively saturated inks. And again, I'll have links to everything. So blended those first over the stencil, and then I took all those same colors with the blending brushes and just blended that over top without the stencil. I, again, did this just the other day, and I really love that look. Like, sometimes I just find that, like, when you blend just the stencil, especially on white cardstock, I'm just like, it depends on the look you're going for. But then adding the same color on top to kind of soften it, and I don't know, I really love how that looks in the end. So blended all these colors. This is all sped up in editing, so I look like I'm just flying through this. Yeah. Sometimes I wish I was. especially when I'm doing this many videos. But anywho, blended all of that, and then I die cut that with one of Simon's nested domed arches wafer dies. And then I pulled out a scrap of black cardstock, and I used my anti-static powder tool on it. And I stamped one of the sentiments from that Pawsitively awesome set with white pigment ink. And then I'm going to coat that with Simon's detail white embossing powder. I'm going to melt that with my heat tool. Once that's melted, I die cut this with a little circle wafer die. So got that done. And then off camera, I'd actually stamped the larger and the smaller outline heart. I'd stamped those onto just scraps of distressed watercolor paper and colored them with the same distressed watercolor pencils. You'll see that in a minute. You can kind of see a couple of them on screen there. So I'd done all that. I trimmed down my background to 3 3/4 by 5 inches. And then my card base will be a top folding A2 card base, so 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. And on the inside of the card, I'm going to stamp another sentiment from the Pawsitively awesome set. So on the front of the card, you know, he's holding a little sign that says love, and then it says sending positive vibes, and then in the inside it says you're positively the best. It's just cute. And then I took the little solid paw stamps from that set and stamped them with those same rainbow colors, just tying it all together, you know. So once those were all stamped, I'm going to start adhering everything, and I used Simon's Big Mama foam tape and put that on the back of the main panel, and I'll pop that onto my card base. And then I also put that on the back of the piece that I rainbow colored and added or die cut with the nested domed arches. So I've got like technically a lot of dimension, but this isn't super bulky because, again, like I said in, I think it was my last video, one of the recent videos, I was going on about Simon's Big Mama foam tape and how it's really thin. It's like 1/32 of an inch. How do you say it? 1/32 of an inch? That sounds weird. But anyway, it's thin, so I can like add a bunch of dimension to my cards, but it's not going to make it super thick and bulky. So there's the hearts that I had colored, which these are in lieu of adding a bunch of bling. I know, no splatter, no bling. I was like, this little dog and his little message, I think, was just more than enough. Super cute. So like I said at the beginning of the video, this set is limited edition. I'll have links to it in the description box below, as well as links to everything I used. So you can check that out below if you're interested. I'll also have a link to my blog, etc. So thank you all, as always, so much for watching, for thumbs upping, commenting, subscribe if you haven't. I very much appreciate it. And I will see you all very soon in the next video. Bye.